Hi, I'm Tom Debevoise, and today I want to talk about business process management, enterprise decision management, and business rules and the business rules approach, and how we bring all of these techniques and technologies together to create light, simple, agile business processes. First, when thinking about decisions, business rules, and business processes, I like to return to the definition of a business process. A business process is a flow of decision-coordinated activities conducted by participants acting on information, data, and knowledge to reach a goal. With respect to the business process, one of the very early terms is that decision. What is a decision in terms of a business process? A decision is a determination about or a judgment about a business term or concept. And those business decisions are supported by one or more business rules. So the current thinking is that business rules are an atomic step that you use to evaluate that decision outcome within your business process. So what does it mean when we say that business rules should be separated from the business process? In this example, we see business rules that are buried in a process. The process decision here is what discount do we give a customer based on what they purchased over the last 6 months. We see that there's a 5% discount for persons who have purchased between 5 or 10,000 or more dollars. Between 5 and 10 they get 3,000, and under 5,000 they get no discount. And maybe there's another step for a negotiated discount with a particular customer. This is not the way that industry or we suggest you put your business rules into business processes. In this other example, we put all of these rules into a simple truth table. And that truth table decides how to apply the discount based on their aggregate purchases over the last 6 months. Well, this leads to the idea, the classic idea that's in common throughout the practice in this other process fragment, that the business rule should be in a business rules repository, and that you should be making a call to that truth table or logic tree that contains all of the atomic supporting business rules that decide that proposition. What discount should we give to the customer? Any other proposition, of course, could be solved with this approach. But so maybe you're wondering, maybe you're more familiar with business processes and business process modeling than you are with the business rules approach. And how do you separate out a requirement or some discussion or business conversation, whether we're talking about business rules or business process steps? Well, we like to use what we call the 4 C's. All business rules can be expressed, arguably, as a formal logic if-then statement. Within that logic is the predicate or the guard, and that guard, from a business standpoint, does 4 things. The first thing it does is classify the type of employee or customer or contract, the type of entity that you're dealing with, so that we can narrow down what that rule applies to. Next, it does some type of computation. In our example, we talked about how many dollars of purchases occurred over the past 6 months. That's a computation. It could be a database lookup or data that's provided within the process, but we use that computation to the next comparison with a red line value. So if they're over a certain red line value or under a certain red line value, then that rule makes a determination about that concept, the discount concept. And then finally it controls whether or not, what discounts applied to the customer. It controls whether or not a particular fact is true, and hands that control back to the business process, just like the process fragment we saw in the previous slide. So all of this seems easy enough, but what is the benefit for you if you're going to use a business rules approach in your use case or your JAD development? Well, first of all, If we are able to clearly identify business rules and business process components separately, then the only thing you need to do within your process modeling is come up with the basic flows and patterns, process patterns, as they occur to identify the decisions that should be supported by the business rules. Now, after you've identified the decisions, you can go out and harvest those business rules using the business rules approach. You can get the correct stakeholders and subject matter experts into the system and really quickly evaluate and determine the rules and set up a very powerful and agile business process modeling procedure. So there are great productivity gains from this approach, and it's pretty much a standard approach right now through many different industries. If you'd like to read more about processes and rules, of course you can buy our book, The MicroGuide to Process Modeling in BPMN. There's information on my blog, or you can read about the training that we have available on the website in the slides that follow. Thank you very much.